It's pretty good looking soil. I don't know many of the words to describe what's going on here exactly, but it just looks, it's got a shape to it. That's sort of what I kind of tried to tune my eye to. Shape to it. It seems pretty good. There's some, like this hole here. That means the worms are hanging out. And generally, yeah, there seems to be, a party going on. Stuff like this. Little balls. Dirt. So, for it to be able to have that kind of cottage cheese shape. And then chicken. It's firm. So yeah, look at that. And the big part of that is just trying to keep it covered and generally moist. That seems to be the key. So for me, I'd rather have weeds than sort of dead, uncovered soil. So again, you can see it's got a nice kind of cottage cheese look to it. And that means that, there is a party rocking here, hopefully. And I'm gonna transplant something in. There's some basil. I try to pat it in because you do want to sort of return the structure. When you dig in, like I just did, you are sort of messing with the structure. But let's just let me show you a close up here of what good. I mean, I think my soil is clay. I've never really had a test or anything, but I think generally that's so. It's kind of heavy, and if you can get a lot of nutrients in it, that heaviness can be sort of corrected or aired out with some worms. The worms really come in and dig up lots of holes and seem to open up the space to life, microbial life, which is what you want. In the Jaran book, they describe it as you want to make your soil, the soil in your garden or the soil in your field, like the soil in a forest. So a big part of that is keeping it covered. So whenever I do something like this, I try and recover it. A thick mat of grass like this is a good way to do it. So I'll just borrow a little from over here. And that'll also make sure that you sort of retain moisture where you want it. So this is grass clippings that I've taken from mowing the lawn and stuff. As you can hear, at any given moment, there's someone mowing the lawn within earshot. Maybe sometimes it's me. I mow my lawn too. But anyway, yeah, I use these grass clippings. That's just an easy way to kind of, you're not really weeding so much, it's just kind of mulching a little, enough to get it to where it can then sort of fight on its own. Because it's really more about giving plants a little leg up if they need it. But I'm trying to work away from transplanting and towards direct seeding as much as possible. It's just easier. Alright, so here's some soil. I want to show you that it's not pre-dug out or anything, and what it looks like when you kind of cut into it. So it's got lots of holes, and it's pretty easy to dig into now. So it's got good structure. Not super light, but you can definitely work within it. I guess my idea is, if I'm doing a transplant, to not muck too much with the sides because that's where the plants are going to grow into from here. So keep that kind of minimal, put a little down as a base, and then put in a seedling. I like kind of burying up a little as well. I know it works with tomatoes. It seems like, well, if anything, what you're doing is making the roots deeper just kind of to begin with. And then hopefully that should give it a little advantage. Peppers, you know, typically don't need a ton of water. They aren't super bitchy about it. But your mileage may vary. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with how the soil looks. And again, this is basically not tilled. Occasionally cut into it like you just saw. And when I do, it's really, you know, this is like a I'm sorry moment. You want to sort of repair the structure as much as possible. And then another thing I'm going to do is come around and plant seeds in all this bare soil, clover, and then some sort of founder's mix, which is basically just a mix of everything possible to see what happens. Something will take. Anyway, there it is.